I have done a lot in the intervening time. I filled up a bunch of chests with junk. I've collected some valuable resources. I actually had 10 more obsidian, but I'll show you that in a minute. Got more silver ore. So after clearing out 3 entire chunks, that's the amount of tin that I got. It appears that my initial troubles with it were likely due to avoiding the abandoned mine shafts, which, as you can see from my armor, lag. As you can see from my armor right here, I'm in no shape equipped to deal with those. I also got 1 diamond. This is just some random junk that I tossed in here when I moved on to the next thing. By the way, I had chests down to here, silver chests, almost filled up with stuff. Peat farm, biofuel production, got a bunch of biofuel in my thing. And if I go down here into the depths, I cleared out over this way also. This all the way down here, as you can see on the mini-map, I'm going under the territory that I cleared out. This right here is the future home of something else, and it's just lit up with pumpkins right now because I don't want to deal with it. But sprinting along, oh, I found that. That would have been nice to know about earlier. I could have done bucket brigade instead of tin brigade. So I cleared out a massive area down here with torches, mined all over the place. Got some interesting stuff. I have this set up to a 32-second timer. Bunch of scrap in there. This could use more lava. I would like the buckets back, please. Good. Now I've got bucket brigade fuel for upstairs. Has produced enough scrap for me to start. I'm just letting it run through. I cleared out the little thing of lava that was over here, a substantial quantity. It's, oops, way far down there. Where am I going? This way. So yeah, it's a maze of tunnels and mining stuff. And there's no point in having a door there anymore since I mined through all of the security layers. Or rather mined around the security layers. And if I go all the way back up here, well, it's nighttime now, I will show you the remainder of what I collected from the nether. Just enough glowstone dust to do what I want. Which, as you'll be seeing in a minute, is a nuclear reactor with a mass fabricator. That could use more power. Meanwhile, that's empty. Do I have any over here? That would be nice. Nope, burnt it all up. What are you guys doing? Out and out. Okay, so I need to refill those two. And as you can see outside, I have some equipment set up to plant the wheat seeds automatically for me, although not harvest them automatically. That requires diamonds and probably also server resources that I don't want to use. Let's see if that's good. Oh, right. Moisteners love to be in darkness so that they operate faster. The wrench here does not work well with this texture pack. But I like everything else about this texture pack rather a lot. Oh, fertilizer. You can figure out how to make it in NEI, but essentially it is appetite here and sand on me. Sand there. Speaking of NEI, let's go over how to use it. So you can search for anything down here, like the overclocker, which I was considering making, or there we go. So let's go even more basic than that. Options, recipe mode. It doesn't matter what mode I'm in right now because I'm on a server. I can't cheat anything in since I'm not an operator on it, but it does help out a lot in testing worlds. If you go to controls, the O control is the one that you won't know about if you're playing Feed the Beast or whatever, and you're like, how do I access the controls? I actually had to ask that. It's O to hide and show it by default. You can see here that R will get you the recipe, U will get you the usage. I don't use enchantments at all, so I won't even need to remember that. And apparently there are shortcuts for the pages and stuff that I just don't use. I use the mouse on it since I have to do that for everything else anyway. You can change some other settings in there, but those are the ones that you really need to know about. So here, you've got the recipe for a nuclear reactor. Okay, well what if I want to see the uses? I hit U, and that shows me all the uses of the advanced circuit. And there's shaped crafting and shaped IC2 crafting. So apparently that one is for railcraft or something. This is the set of IC2 recipes. So there are multiple sets of recipes that you can look through. This is a mass fabricator. These take 2 glowstone. So 2, 2, 4, that's 8 glowstone, plus some advanced machines and other stuff. Ouch, kind of expensive. You can also make teleporters out of them. Why are there 2? Oh, the diamonds. Normal diamond, industrial diamond. Don't use an industrial diamond on Nishtown's server. On Nish's server, Nishtown, he has them as currency since they're uncraftable, and normal diamonds are worth less. You should change your industrial diamonds in exchange if you happen to have them and need to buy a diamond. So advanced circuits make lots of fun things. The IC2 mining equipment, and of course the quantum suits, components, and lap packs. Is that all the quantum suit components? That recipe, oh, I see, it's the upgrade recipe now. It's different from when I used to make them earlier in a different version. Huh, it's just that. So the iridium plate, for example, is used in only the quantum suit. Oh man, it takes... Oh, rubber boots. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm like, it takes 3 of them? That's kind of expensive. What was I in the middle of looking for? The reinforced glass might be a nice texture with this pack. As you can see, I've also upgraded to a reinforced door outside, and on Ray's minimap, it's in the circular mode, which it hadn't been in by default before when I started using it the first time, and someone educated me on the fact that you can put it in this mode, and it actually adjusts to where you're facing, so you no longer have this gigantic mental, ugh, it's not doing what I expect, which I happen to like much better. Fill, fill, fill. I need to clear some stuff out of my inventory. Oh, good. Get some stuff back into my inventory. That's charcoal white. I hate it. That stack. Like that. I should just do it automatically for me. Ah, no. Get out of that one, get into my personal one. So I'm going to need to have crafted these buckets eventually anyway. It's why I crafted so many of them instead of doing tin capsules. I realized I was wasting a lot of tin that way. Don't need the stick. Let's see, I showed you that other area. Looks like it's almost daytime. I'll just drop off this dirt and dodge outside to show you. Yeah, I can hear the zombies dying. I'll just drop off this dirt and then dodge outside to show you how to set up. Actually, more than the dirt. I want to get rid of farming equipment too. Okay. Here's the other thing that I've done. I moved my animal farm inside. I put up the basalt brick. That took me way too long to think of on camera. Those other YouTubers are correct. When you're trying to record something, your brain just goes da-da-da. Engine is going, has biofuel, has lava to heat it back up. Is that even running? Yes, it is running. Okay, that's full. Oh, it's not conducting into it. Darn. Or I need to build a craft thing. That should be working. Ah, freaking Enderman in my beach. Almost got it. If I kept pressing forward, I could have killed it. How do I want to work this? Yeah, that'll work. Yep, that's what it needed. Oh good, that is working. Okay, I can start it up then. In fact, does this one have enough heat to start up? looks like it. Doesn't have enough heat to reach peak operating conditions. Ah! That was weird. So this would be the time to use some of that. By the way, never run around with your hotbar on lava. It's just a horrid idea. I should remove that other waypoint. Someone told me that there was a Red Power 2 rubber tree over there, and I'm like, yes, I love those things. And so I went after it, but it wasn't a Red Power 2 rubber tree. It was actually just an IC2 rubber tree, which I have plenty of. So that wasn't a tremendous help. I found that this is a great source of sand and clay, not such a great source of diamonds for me just yet. That's interesting. There's a graphical glitch there. Just tons and tons of lava and a couple of caves and obsidian. You know, it sucks up 11 diamonds to make this thing. It may as well get me obsidian. I'd say I've earned it at that point. It's only given me one back so far. Okay, so those come in. They go into my sorting system. Following this pipe here, it's nice and covered up. And they come down this way, giving me resources here. Here's my sorting machine. As you can see, I've got two blue sets set up. I moved the obsidian out of there. Actually, I should put some back. So I had the obsidian and the diamond that had the inventory there. I had the obsidian and the diamond that I had found over there in the setup. Wasn't sure if I was going to use the diamond or not, and I wanted to show off where it was in the recording. On this server, tungsten ore can be traded in for 2 diamonds currently, but I haven't done that at all. The 3 diamonds that you see over here, actually, not the industrial ones, the 3 right here, I got by macerating coal and doing the compressor thing. In fact, I can show you. So IC2 lets you make coal balls, which you can then compress into a compressed coal ball, which you then craft around. Do you lock it down to only obsidian on this server? You should be able to use... That's interesting. You should be able to use not just obsidian, but also brick blocks and machine blocks, refined iron blocks in that position to create the coal chunk. And then when you compress, when you compress the coal chunk, you get a diamond out of it. So that's how I made those 3 diamonds. It's a little expensive on energy, but at the moment I needed it. My trip to the Nether, I almost died, but I made it out of there, and I've got enough to proceed with what I want and need to do goal-wise. So I will be showing you that after I have gone through making one of these and several of these, which are made out of a bunch of annoying components that you can see here, and it's very costly. Let me rattle off the resources, actually. So let's see. I'm going to get out of that. I need, and I'm ignoring the sticks, the cobble, the iron. Sorry, sticks were for the other stuff that I was making the quarry and etc. So I need 152 iron, 56 redstone dust, 18 lapis, 162 copper, 96 tin, 87 bronze, 55 rubber, and 18 glowstone. Which is a lot of material. An awful lot of material. And that's not even including the support systems that I need to make around it, involving, actually that may be including the buckets, but it's not including any of the Red Power 2 components that will allow me to cool the reactor with the design that I have chosen. It is my own custom modification back from the Industrial Craft forums when someone was suggesting it, and I happen to like the small subtle verities, the small subtle tweaks in it. There's also another design that it's based on an infinite reactor, but the problem with the infinite reactor in that case, you know what, I'll save that for the next video, the next segment. It'll be so much easier when I show those off in a creative setting, because I don't have access to the thermometer tool in this build, and it's much more useful to just show up with that. Filling that up. You know what? One of those there, does it just, no it doesn't. It needs a redstone. So, since I haven't started bees yet, I have to use cactus green, the dye, to make waterproof piping, and if you do that on a 3x3 grid, then you have to do it in the, there's no way that would have worked, that was the wrong thing. Oh no. Not that stuff. Might have to get inventive with that. Give me that. Yeah, that doesn't connect to there. Two more. Hey, what do you know? I've got 2 left. Completely wasn't planning that. While I'm still recording in this mode, what I'm going to be doing on this server is showing how to solve problems. And speaking of problems, it's always been a problem when I take out that switch by accident, because powering off my pump is a bad thing. And going to semi-quickly craft, don't need that in there, we'll need one of you and some redstone that I've got in my inventory, or whatever. Piston. Gears. wires. Thing, wood, whoops, not glass, wood. And it didn't make enough. Okay. Perfect. So now as this makes more, it will be piped out into this over here, which I can build higher by another one with ease. I should have, yeah. There's another tank. So now I can just bucket up inside of there. Should eat some food. And I'm good to go on that. I don't know how much longer the night's going to be, so I'm going to cut this here. And I think I already said this, but yeah, I did already say something to the effect of this. I'm essentially going to be showing how to solve problems on this server. And one of those problems has been, I didn't actually know about this at the time, but it makes sense thinking about it in retrospect. Buildcraft fillers are massively CPU intensive, apparently. It obviously makes sense since they continuously recheck all of the blocks in the chunk that they are working with. I don't know how bad Buildcraft quarries are, but they too probably aren't that good. It's why I have gone from, well, there's a limit to them, 64 by 64 built into the code. There's no tool for tweaking that limitation server side, or client side for that matter. It's entirely up to the people using it. So I'm going to see if an 8x8 one, which is slightly smaller than the default size of 9x9, will produce any negative effects compared to a larger one. I think that that's probably going to be as least impactful as I can get. It has the side benefit of making it run faster, but it has the detriment of making me move the engines that are powering it more often. But shortly that won't actually be a problem. Because up there, just in the chunk to the up direction from my wheat farm, will be my power generation facility, and it will contain, I'll be able to build the 10 engines which are electrically powered, and I can turn them on and off at the drop of a hat without restarting them with a bucket of lava every time I want to mine. Oh yeah, that's right, it overlaps the lines slightly. Because of course there's no way of showing it without doing that. So yes, if you have an issue that you want to tackle, then please let me know about it. The next one that I'm planning to do between the two of my videos, video series, is going to be automated tree farming. Not the forestry kind, but actually doing it with yourself and a machine that hopefully will not check blocks as often and should only produce real load on the server when it's actually working with something coal. Excellent. Oh, yes, I can actually use this now. Now that I've shown off what I have, it's time to actually start making this into diamonds so that I can do useful things with them. Silver dust. Coal. Macerate the coal. And actually, while I'm here, let me just show you my new favorite chest. Copper. I'll grab that in a minute. Oh, look. Got picked up automatically. Silver. Silver chest has enough upgraded capacity from the copper chest to be worth spending the silver. And as you can see, the recipe there is fairly cheap. So there, I've got about, oh, there it is. Sync the inventory. I've got roughly 2.5 spare chests for an 8x8 down to bedrock. That's effectively a stack every layer, and there are going to be up to 50 layers. So theoretically, I only need 50 inventory slots, and this should be more than sufficient. Just at a quick guesstimation. Some of that's likely to be cave, air, mine shaft, etc. So it's really just a very rough estimate. Some skeletons. I love these swords. Thank you for the gemstone tools. They really helped. Oh, yeah, if you're wondering how to set this thing up, you'll notice that this is a relay. I like the relay. I'm not quite sure if I've got it backwards or not, but it doesn't seem to actually matter. It's working right now, and that's good enough for me. If it's working, and does not look really ugly, then it's probably okay. Unfortunately, I couldn't really get it to work with the quarry. It didn't quite treat it as a chest. Maybe it only works with vanilla chests. I'm not sure. It's old and annoying. This is Buildcraft 2. But if you use a couple of pipes, I use a gold one here so that since the items are shot out, they zip around this quickly, then it's not so bad. And I should be moving my sorting system and other stuff beneath this chunk over here, so it won't be nearly as long of a distance in the near future. Oops. Maybe I should look at mag tubes or something. I haven't built those before. They'd be fun. But yeah, that's a long way down. Oh look, there's a kind of cave on the side there. If I were insane, I could actually live breathing and make it down to that cave there where I see the lava light. But then I'd have no way back up. Well, aside from cheating. And by cheating, I mean using /home to get from there to home, even though I shouldn't. At the moment, I've only used that to return from visiting the town or visiting other people to drop off items for trade, or if they happen to need something like, well, various little things. Things that I can actually spare at the moment. Good evening. This is attempt number 2 at my reactor. The first time through, I forgot that the timer defaults to 2 seconds instead of 1, and since it was really late at night, when I placed it back down in a new position, I forgot to set the time to 1 second, and I ended up dying, but not losing a lot of stuff. I still had to go back to the nether to get more glowstone to finish rebuilding it. My reactor is fully decked out. There's even some of the stuff I was working with still in here. And as you can see, I redone the flooring beneath it. Speaking of the flooring beneath it, actually, I did a couple of things with that. My mass fabricator is still over here, still set to on. I added a secondary emergency kill switch, which the one back here, the cable to it burnt up, which is why you can see it in the floor now. So I've got 2 ways of shutting off the reactor. I did test this in a creative test world. I also have some pumpkins down there just to light it up, and kind of looks interesting. I may as well go over the various filters that are attached. This one is set to pull empty buckets out. It is connected via redstone signal. This one, oh, there's it. Let me target it. There's a deployer down here, which will be used to refill the buckets. This pulls full buckets out, stuffs them in there, and then there is another filter here, which I can't target easily at the moment, but it is set to pull full buckets out and send it through exactly one length of tubing into my reactor. Yeah, I can get to it there. So there. Now, you'll notice that I'm not drowning there. So there is one block that will aim directly up and possibly kill something above if this pops again. But I'm not incredibly worried about that. The only reason it happened last time is because the timer was set incorrectly. And there's my nice little guardian snowman, which is for a different experiment. I've also used the basalt on the walls here. I want to do the entire room, but the basalt brick, but for the moment I ran out of it and I'd like a diamond drill before I go make more. It takes a long time to mine with this low-level drill. Okay, that's ready. This controls heating it up, so now that will heat the reactor up, and this here will allow it to cool back down. And you can see that there is water down there by the pumpkin, which I'm hoping if something does catch on fire will put out the fire and help me in that situation. Now, I'm going to be editing the actual design that I'm using out of my other video, but I'm sure that you can find good ones on the Industrial Craft forums, and the reactor planner is very useful at determining the quantity of materials that you need to build a reactor, as well as planning out the safe operating thresholds for it. Do be mindful of the cooldown times. The other thing that you'll want to be mindful of is you must keep your source blocks outside of a 5x5x5 box centered on the reactor core, not the reactor chamber. So this is a 3x3 box around it that it cares about for water. These, oh, I'm missing one there. The explosion took it out. I'll have to fix that. Glad I saw that. So these reinforced stone blocks here saved me, along with the reinforced glass, which I've already replaced some of. Sorry, I've been staying up a little too late this past week, completing this design. Anyway, I've yet to heat it up, so I have plenty of time to go and fix that little problem before I start. And do make sure that you double check everything about 2 or 3 times before you turn it on. It's a good idea to do it even before you heat it up. Everything else appears to have survived, so I will be dumping in a couple of lava buckets to get the initial temperature up to where I want, and then proceeding from there. Lava buckets are a great way of getting it if you have a stable design where it's neutral. The materials inside counteracted precisely by the cooling of the chambers and the water around the chambers. So at the moment you can see that I'm leaving this in a cooling off mode and that I've got the glass blocks there just taking up some space. They serve no purpose as far as preventing the reactor from exploding or expelling during an explosion. And you might also notice that I've been very careful to limit the area of the design so that any faces in this way towards my actual base and equipment at the moment have minimal exposures. I've also, as you might be noticing by Ray's minimap, have located this entirely within a single 16x16x16 chunk section. So all of this is one logical storage unit. Aside from past here, I've made it slightly too wide. All of this is within one logical storage unit, and therefore, if it is loaded, it should all be working, I hope. And I will go make some reinforced stone. Let's see. Right. So, reinforced stone is one of the recipes that you use advanced alloy for. There it is. Smooth stone surrounded by that. And this is the highest explosion resistant block that you are allowed to make in Minecraft modified by Industrial Craft. It used to be possible to make obsidian blocks around your reactor since they were highly explosion resistant. I'm not sure if that holds true on Bukkit or not, but I'm not prepared to test it on this server. Anyway, I'm going to go fix it and get to my project. We will see the results in next week's video. Enjoy!